Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to study chapter number 3. But before starting with chapter number 3, there is one question which I want to tell you that I have sent you a solution of test. Okay, test 2 means polynomials, the chapter polynomial test that I have to. And that no one question number 5 I have given in the solution. I have sent a PDF, and in that one question has been solved by me wrong by mistake. Just see this question, very easy question. Sign I have written wrong one place. This is question number 5 from the test. You can check here. No, we have to check whether 2 and minus 3 are the zeros or not. We have put the value of 2 and this is coming 12, so it is not the 0. It was correct, but here it is minus 3 and I put the values. Okay, everything is correct, but here no, it is plus 6, and in the next step I have written minus 6, so here plus 6 will come. So I'm marking it with the red, that this part you need to, with pink, that this part you need to see. Okay, and here also it will come plus, and this is again it is 12. Clear? So minus 3 is also not the 0 of px. So this part have been solved wrong. Okay, because the sign which I have written here was wrong. Okay, and that's why I just corrected now. This is the correct solution. Clear? Earlier that was wrong, and rest everything was fine. Okay, this is a this was at your checking part, that you need to check your answer. If some of you have checked, then you will get to know that there is an error. Now it is rectified. Okay, so now let us come to chapter number 3 again, which is coordinate geometry, and the chapter is very easy. The chapter is very easy. So starting with this chapter, and before starting with this chapter, you should know one term, that is Cartesian plane. Might you have done this in 8th grade, Cartesian plane. Okay, the coordinates, the x coordinate, the y coordinate, abscissa, ordinate. I hope this question from abscissa, okay, was there in your exam the last year also, I guess. So these things which you have done in 8th, okay, Cartesian plane, is again repeated in chapter number 3 in your syllabus, that is coordinate geometry, and the chapter itself is very easy. So we are starting with the introduction of Cartesian plane. So let me move to my graph. Okay, starting with this, let me clear this. So on this graph I am going to make the Cartesian plane, and you also have to make in your fair notebook. Please make it in your fair notebook. Okay, because this Cartesian plane will only help you to understand the whole chapter, the all of the questions. Clear? All of the exercise with this only. So the chapter is this much easy. So concentrate here on this Cartesian plane. So I'm making right now. So right now this is a graph where I have made these two lines which are intersecting each other at point O, or we can say that the value here is 0. We call it origin. Okay, and these two lines we say x axis and the y axis, ending it with arrow. After this we have here different values. For example, here 1, 2, 3, and here we have all positive values. Here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. So this way we can start with this Cartesian plane. This whatever we have made here, this is all known as Cartesian plane. In this note, just focus here carefully that these two lines, when intersecting each other, are giving us four different parts. This is the part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Okay, and these are four parts. That's why they are known as quadrants. This is quadrant 1, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant. These are fixed places. Okay, first, this is only first where the value of x is positive and the value of y is also positive. If you remember, if we are writing any point, then we are writing coordinates. The first is for x. Okay, and here x is positive, and the second value that we are going to write here, it will be for y, and here y is also positive. So in first quadrant, both the values are positive. First is always representing the value of x, and second is always representing the value of y. Keep this in mind. First for x and second for y. And here first means x is negative and y is positive. Here both are negative. X and y both are negative. Okay, and here x is positive and y is negative. See this, x is positive in this area and y is negative. So this way, first of all, this is very important. Please note it down and make the whole, whatever I am writing here, everything you need to write on the first page of this chapter with the introduction of this Cartesian plane. Let's make the chapter heading, date and all. Then after that, just start with Cartesian plane and make this. If you have a graph, make it on a graph. If you do not have a graph, then make it very carefully with proper gaps. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, there should be a gap of 1 centimeter each if you are making on your the page of the register only. So equal gaps you have to take. So after this, suppose if I am talking about this point, this here. So this point is showing x3, and look here, it is showing y also 3. Clear? No? So here both the values are positive. Let me take some other point. This. So here x is 3 and y is 2. Here x is 3 and y is 2. And see, both is positive. I have not, both are positive. I have not written here negative values. Have I written negative values? No, because in first quadrant we have both positive values. Because here also x is positive and y is also here positive. That's why this point is representing both x and y values. Okay, and the first is always for x and the second value is always for y. This is the order to write. Okay, and together they are known as quadrant, oh sorry, coordinates. Together they are known as coordinates. Fine, x and y together are known as coordinates. Here, and x is the x value is known as abscissa. Let me write it again, abscissa, and the y value is known as ordinate. We are going to write the definitions once, okay, so that you will be able to learn it, because these are the only basic concepts with the help of which you will be able to answer the questions given in the exercise. And this point is O, and here O point means origin, where x and y axes are intersecting each other, and here the values of x and y both 0 and 0. Okay, x and y both are 0 on at this point. Okay, we call it origin. Have you understood? And here if I am taking any point, let it be this point, then this is representing x in negative, means this is -6, and y here is +1. See this, minus plus, it is minus plus. So in this way, that's why these are fixed. In first quadrant it will be plus plus x plus y plus. In second quadrant it is fixed x minus and y plus. Third quadrant both will be minus. Fourth quadrant x is plus and y is minus, in this way. So if I am taking here any values, let it be this. So here x is positive 1 and y is negative 3. So this is a point which have the coordinates, and these coordinates will help us to locate the point. If I am talking about, okay, tell me where is minus 5 comma 1. Minus 5, so this is x, so you have to look at in this x axis where is minus 5. Minus 5 is here, and where is 1. 1 is here. Just let me rub this. Oh, okay, so this is minus 5 and 1. No, minus 5 is here and 1 means y, so y is here. So minus 5 and 1 is represented by this point. Okay, so this way we can locate. If I'm talking about that, tell me where is minus 5 comma 1, then this way you can locate. So minus 5 is here, this is on x axis, and 1 is representing a value of y. So that's why minus 5 and 1 is represented by this point. So here we can write this is minus 5 comma 1. Okay, one more thing. See this x-axis. This x-axis is represented by which name? See this. I'm writing here something. Uh, x-axis. Can we say it x o x dash? X, then o, then x dash. So this is a straight line with x o x dash name, and y-axis with y o y dash name. So y o y dash. Now see one thing carefully. X-axis, no, which I have written here, x-axis on this full line we have all the values of x. This full line we have all values of x, but we do not have any value of y. So when I am talking about this point, this is minus 6. This is the value minus 6, but what is y here? If you will look this side, because for y we have to look on this line, so just adjacent to this, if we will look at y, then y is only 0. So if I am talking about this point, this is minus 5. So what is the value of y on this? It is 0. What is the value of y when x is minus 3? On this point only, it is 0. So on this full line, y is always 0. Okay, on this full line, on this line, on x-axis, y is 0. So what is the equation of x-axis? The equation of x-axis is y is equal to 0. Okay, keep this in mind. This is very important. Just let me highlight this. Okay, after this, on this y-axis, if I'm talking about this minus 2, so y is minus 2, but what is x here? If you look at x-axis, 0 at this point. So if I'm talking about each and every point on y-axis, then here x will be 0. So we can say the equation of y-axis is fixed with x is equal to, is it clear? I hope it is clear. So these are some of the basic concepts. So let us write now some of the definitions. Clear? Fine. So let us start now with some of the definitions that I have explained you all the things. So writing the main definitions now. First we need to write is Cartesian plane. First of all, what is Cartesian plane? So in easy words we can write a plane. Cartesian plane is a plane containing two perpendicular containing two perpendicular axes, first is x, okay, the horizontal axis, X is horizontal line, no? So X is horizontal axis, and Y, just write, let me write here, no, small x, write here small x, and Y, the perpendicular, the Y, the vertical axis. Just write it down, and we can write which intersects at a point called origin. And here the values of this origin is 0 comma 0. So this way, in easy manner, we can write very simple, a plane containing two perpendicular lines. So these are perpendicular to each other, just making 90-degree here. Okay, and the one is x-axis, which we called the horizontal axis because it is in this way, and one is vertical axis, that is y, and which intersects at a point, which that point is known as origin, represented by a letter O, or here the values are 0 comma 0. Fine. So this is known as Cartesian plane. Definition is coordinates. This A here, coordinates. What are coordinates? Coordinates are numbers used to determine a position, determine the position of a point, of a point. So coordinates are the numbers which used to determine the position of a point. The way I have explained you here, that this is a point which is represented by these two numbers, and these two numbers together means the value of x and y together are known as coordinates. Okay, position and coordinates, no, here you can write it is represented as, or how we can write it, x comma y. Okay, here the value of x, here the value of y, and this is just a point which is representing, this is just a position of a point which is represented by the coordinates. Okay, fine. So after coordinates, the next is quadrant. Now what are quadrants? Means these x, and y axis y axis so these x and y axis divide the plane into four regions. Yes, no? When these x and y axis intersect, when this x and y axis intersect each other, then they divide the plane into four different regions called quadrants. Clear? And here we have different quadrants. The one is like this, x o y, this x o y quadrant, then y o x dash, this quadrant, and then x dash o y dash, this quadrant, then x o y dash, this quadrant. So we have four quadrants, the first, the second, and third, and fourth quadrant. Okay, we can write it as four quadrants, that is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. These are the names of those quadrants. Fine. Let us write one more thing when with these definitions. First, second, third, then fourth thing. I have told you while the explanation in the graph that equation of x of x axis is y is equals to 0. And one more thing, equation of y axis is x is equals to 0. So one more point, the x coordinate, we have no coordinates x and y, so the x coordinate is known as abscissa, and the y coordinate is known as ordinate. Just learn these also two terms, add this in your knowledge, and now we can start with the exercise. In exercise 3.1, no, in exercise 3.1 there are questions that there is no need to do in the book notebook. So we'll start with exercise. This is just a kind of activity question, so no exercise 3.2 we are doing in notebook. So we are starting with the exercise 3.2. Okay, just see exercise 3.2. From there we can start this chapter. So we'll be starting with this exercise. Just take out your book, exercise 3.2, page number 60. So let's start with the exercise. I have brought the exercise here. Exercise 3.2, write the answer of each of the following question. Now you are aware of these answers. What is the name of the horizontal and the vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? Which are those lines? The horizontal line is known as x-axis and the vertical line is known as y-axis. This way you can write the answer. What is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? Each part of the plane is known by which name? What is the name of each part of the plane? Quadrants. Okay, that are quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can write quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. What is the name of each part of the plane? So each part is known by quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just read the next question. Write the name of the point where these two lines intersect. To write the name of the point where these two lines intersect. Yes, origin. These two lines intersect at origin. See, I have told you, no, the moment you will be able to understand whatever I have taught here in this Cartesian plane, and once you will read this definition, you will be able to do the whole of the chapter and all the exercises. Okay. After this, these three parts we have done. Question number 2. Write the following, the coordinates of B. You have to just check this and you have to tell the coordinates of B. What is the coordinate of B? Coordinates of B. What are the coordinates of B? Here the value of x is -5 and value of y is 2. So we can write here -5 comma 2. So here the answer is -5 comma 2. Coordinates of C. Coordinates of C. It is 5 comma -5. First of all, we have to write the value of x, then y. 5 comma -5. Point identified by the coordinates -3 comma -5. So where is -3 comma -5? -3, then -5. We need to check where is -3 -5. -3 means x and this y. X -3. Okay, x -3 is here and y -5. Y -5 is here. So these two will meet at point E. So point E is representing minus 3 comma minus 5. So we'll write here point E is representing these points. Okay, the point identified by the coordinates 2 comma minus 4. The point identified by 2 comma minus 4. 2 and minus 4. This is G. So we'll write here point G. Abscissa. Abscissa means the x value of point D. Abscissa means the only x value. So that is 6. The ordinate means y. This we have written here. No, look here. X coordinate is known as abscissa, the value of x, and the value of y we are representing by the word ordinate. Okay, then ordinate of h, where is h point? This, and what is the value of y here? Minus 3. So we'll write here minus 3. Coordinates of point L. What are the coordinates of L? Here we have the value of y 5, but what is the value of x here? 0, obviously, because it is on y axis, and y is 5. So we can write here 0 comma 5. Then coordinates of point M. What are the coordinates of point M? So here we have x minus 3 and y is 0 because it is on x axis. So minus 3 comma 0. Can you tell me that on which quadrant this is lying? This is which quadrant? Quadrant 1. Very good. And this point B, quadrant 2. This is just an extra knowledge. Okay, H and E are lying on quadrant 3, and this G and C are lying on quadrant 4. Very good. After this, just tell me this, where this M point is lying. This is M point. This is not lying in quadrant 2. This is not lying in quadrant 3. Neither in 2 nor in 3. Then where? It is on x-axis. If this kind of question comes, no, they have given you suppose they have given you a Cartesian plane in the question paper, and there they have marked a point on either x-axis or y-axis. For example, on y-axis they have marked this L, and on x-axis they have marked this M. Now they are asking on which quadrant they lie. Then they do not lie on any of the quadrant because they are lying on x and y axis. So M is lying on x axis and this L point is lying on y axis. Clear? No? And these points are lying on quadrant 1, quadrant 2, this, and this quadrant 3, and this quadrant 4. So it is all clear. So we are done with exercise 3.1. So you have to make this okay, no need. Do not make this in your notebook and directly you can write your answer. With the help of book, just open your book, see the figure and write all the answers of this in your notebook. Clear? Just write these questions only, then write the answers in front like this only. Okay, in the same way you can write these questions, you can write the answer. Exercise 3.2 in this way. So your homework is do exercise 3.2 in notebook. Moreover, write all definitions explained here and make Cartesian plane very neat and clean. Okay, so bye, take care.